It's hard to believe, but it's been 20 years since the Steiger's department stores closed their doors, and this seemed like a good time for us to remember. They're one of the gone, but certainly not forgotten institutions of Western Massachusetts. Here with us, Allen Steiger, Treasurer of the Steiger's department stores. John Donnellan, who among other duties was General Manager of Steiger's downtown Springfield flagship store, now Professor of Business at Holyoke Community College, and Cheryl Dutton, who works here at WGBY, but once upon a time in an earlier life worked at Steiger's Springfield Plaza store in her early days, shall we say. Thank you all for being with us. Mr. Steiger, let me ask you, you're the grandson of the store founder, Albert Steiger, and I'm sure we could fill hours and hours of conversation, but briefly, his was really a great story.
Well, it really was, Jim. He was born in 1860 in Ravensburg, Germany, and his family were in the mill business, but they had their mill in Switzerland because Switzerland is known for good lace, and there was such a demand for silk in America. That's what brought them here around 1868.
And the first store was Holyoke, am I right?
Yeah, well, no, it really was Portchester, New York.
Okay.
I don't know how he got down there, but he did and opened a store. But then he got into the store business because his father and his uncle and most of the family had, there was an influenza epidemic and they passed. And so he went to work at the age of 13 and took the inventory from the mill they had, because he couldn't run the mill, and peddled it. And he got a job with Mr. Gillett in Westfield, and that was his first store experience.
First store. All right, very good. John Donnellan, you were saying just a minute ago you spent 12 years with the Steiger stores.
Right.
You said it was a wonderful place to work.
It truly was. It was a wonderful working atmosphere. It was professional. It was laid back. And having worked at many other places after Steiger's, I never realized what a wonderful place it was to work.
I want to pick up more on that in a minute, but Cheryl, let me ask you, you told me you learned things working at Steiger's as a kid, really a teenager, that have stayed with you and helped you throughout all the ensuing years.
I did. There was an expectation on the part of the Steiger's family, and an expectation on how you would present yourself, how you would dress, how you would speak. And that was carried on throughout. I mean, even customers spoke to you in that same respectful, pleasant fashion. And I just learned very early on to respect and listen to people and present myself in the best light possible.
Allen Steiger, it was your family's place, really, quite literally. It bore the family name. I'm told you all called it, you just referred to it as the store. There was a lot of pride taken in the way things were done and business was conducted at Steiger's, correct?
Well, that is true. Absolutely, Jim. Yes. As Cheryl said, we had expectations of people and conduct and so forth and so on, absolutely. And I think one of the things, too, that management, it was always an open door policy. And we wanted people to be treated well, and that was, I think, the secret of our business is that we treated people well, and they in turn treated the customer well, and so on and so forth. But certainly we tried to develop that culture.
I know when I talked to Professor Donnellan before coming in, we talked about in emails exchange. There was, it seemed to me, just as a customer and someone who moved to this area, not all that long before the Steiger's chain closed, there was what I thought of as the Steiger way. And whether it was working with your employees, talking to your customers, there was just this tremendous give and take, cooperation, try to give people what it was they needed or wanted.
Well, we definitely had a culture, of, as Allen mentioned, of taking care of customers. And just as there were generations of Steigers, there were also generations of Steiger customers. And a number of people in Springfield in greater Springfield, who would come, for instance, to register for their china or to buy their wedding gowns, would tell us of their mother and grandmother who had done the same thing, 40 or 50 or 60 years before. So we had a customer base that was very loyal, and and it was a nice place to work, but also a nice place to shop. And we considered ourselves just a little bit better than our competitors. Our buyers were the arbiters of taste, right? If somebody bought something at Steiger's, then that meant fashion, that meant quality. And that reputation prevailed for an awfully long time.
Cheryl Dutton, let me ask you, before you worked at Steiger's, and you told me a big treat was on a weekend to go with your grandmother, your Nana, and go to visit Steiger's.
Nana, every Saturday. And I was talking with Allen, that's when you dressed up to go shopping. You know, my Nana would put on her gloves and her hat, and we would catch the bus and go downtown. And then the biggest treat was, of course, having lunch up in the tea room in the hall gallery, which was nice. And very often they'd have a fashion show, and we would watch all the beautiful ladies parade around in their outfits. Loved it. Great memories.
Allen Steiger, let me ask you about that. The tea room. That was a place, everybody, when they talk about Steiger's, they talk for a minute and then they say, and oh, the tea room. What a place that was.
Well, it was, excuse me, and had very good food. We had a marvelous chef, and John, Mr. Francis. And he really built quite a reputation. And you know, on a Saturday, we'd have over 1,000 people eat there, and for the reason that the food was so good and very reasonably priced. That was part of the appeal too, I think. But yeah, it was a great way to bring in the customers. Feed them.
We used to turn the tables in the tea room 3 times at lunch. You know,
That's right.
An 11, a 12, and a 1 o'clock seating. And you know, we used to joke about the fact that the chef, Steve Francis, threw nothing away. You know, it either went into the Friday soup, or, you know, in some mysterious way became something else.
Or
chicken croquettes. They were the real mystery.
Now you can tell us. Huh?
Now I can tell you. And but he was truly remarkable. I mean, most department stores ran their restaurants to draw in customers, and they ran them at a loss. But we always made money in the tea room.
See, what's interesting with Steve, he used to watch the plates going out of the kitchen and watch them coming in, see what was not eaten, and then he'd, you know.
Well, that was the secret then in everything, wasn't it? Attention to detail, whether it was the tea room or the shopping floor.
That's right.
Always watching, always getting it done. Well, not to bring up a sad note, but John Donnellan, Allen Steiger, what was it happened in the marketplace that eventually made it impossible for us Steigers to continue? Was it just changing times and the big national retail chains that could overbuy and undersell a family store like Steiger's, a small chain?
It really was. And we could sense it coming. But, and as you know, we were bought by the May Company. Of course, in turn, they were sold to Macy's. So the pot was getting bigger and bigger, and we just couldn't be competitive. We were really a peanut compared to so many others. So we saw the handwriting on the wall, and it kind of forced our hand, really.
To give you an example of what happened to the industry, when I first went to work at Steiger's and would take the train to New York, on the train were buyers who had gotten onto the train in Northampton from the old McCallums. In Springfield, the buyers from Steiger's and Forbes and Wallace would get on the train. We would go to Enfield, Connecticut, and the buyers from Women's Specialty Retailing, which was the parent of Casual Corner, and so on, would get on the train. In Hartford, the buyers from Sage Allen and G. Fox and Davidson and Leventhal, and so on, all the way through New Haven, Mally's, and Bridgeport Reed's. And the train was full by the time we got to New York. And if I were to take the same train today, I think I would probably be the lone rider from downtown Springfield to Hartford. So the whole, not only did the retail marketplace change from the consumer perspective, but from the business model perspective, it's totally different today.
Mm-hmm. Well, Steiger's gone but not forgotten, and greatly missed by an awful lot of us here in Western Massachusetts. Allen Steiger, John Donnellan, Cheryl Dutton, thank you all for being with us and sharing some of your memories.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it.